an offender at the Jefferson City Correctional Center.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Love me before you judge me. Today is December 12th, 2022, and the time is now 6:42 p.m. I woke this morning with a clear vision in my direction in life. Yes, man, this life. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gerald L. Johnson, registered number 308640, and I'm currently incarcerated in the Missouri Department of Correction here at the Jefferson City Correctional Center in the state of Missouri, 8200 No More Victims Road, where I'm serving a life sentence with the possibility of parole for second-degree felony murder and life for robbery in the first degree, and a consecutive sentence of 15 years for armed criminal action, 10 years for leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident, and 1 year for resisting arrest. So my sentence total is life plus 15 years. I've been incarcerated now for 23 plus years. Before I go any further, I would like to give thanks to God, because without Him, none of what I'm about to share today would be possible. I also would like to thank my wife, Miss Sharon Johnson, for pushing me to share my life story with the world. Thank you, my beautiful queen, for being by my side through this and understanding the struggle. Here where I work at the Jefferson City Correctional Center is an organization called Restorative Justice. This organization is where my life changed, and is where I opened up and let go of so much that was built up inside me. And the choices that I've made and the steps I've taken has helped me to be me and to believe in myself. So I came to a point where it was time to share my story with the world, and that time is now. So to all that listen to my story as I share it with you, I'm coming from deep core. I'm talking deep within my life and the way I was raised, the foster care system, the events that brought me to prison, as well as my change inside this death sentence. Why nobody will listen to me, I don't know. But what I do know is I matter. And the system failed me. But I never let it break me. And I still to this day mentoring the men that walk through these gates. And us guys here, my man Michael Irving, a.k.a. Icy Mike, my guy Roy, you know what I'm saying, my guy Roy Eel, my Muslim brother, Abdul Latif. It's so much, man. It's so much inside these prison gates that's changed my life. And I'm going to share my story with you. And I'm going to start it off, man, and to all of y'all, man, thanks for supporting me. Again, to my beautiful queen, Miss Sharon Johnson, my girls, Sharika, Janique, Ariana, my son just got back in my life, Quan, my two beautiful grandsons, Legend, and little EJ. I love y'all, and it ain't no turning back for me now. It's time for me to share my story. So here we go. I was born and raised in Kansas City. I was born November the 10th, 1977. I grew up in a household where it was my sister and my brother. My sister was the oldest, my sister Nicole, and my brother Brian, he was the middle, and I was the second to the oldest. Sorry, my brother was the youngest. I gotta forgive me because I'm kind of nervous, but I ain't doing no. This ain't no script. This is something I'm going. 38th and 9th, this is where I remember. My mother, man, she drank a lot. She did a lot of drugs. The household was abusive, and it was just chaotic, man. It was chaotic. I had a grandmother lived on 52nd Euclid. Rest in peace to my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my mother would always take us over there. That's where all the action was. I'm talking, it ain't nothing that I wasn't seeing as a young child. Actually, some of it was quite scary. I'll never forget my grandma's house being shot up one night, and I was laying on the couch in glass. I just heard the glass crackling and breaking, and I rolled over on the floor and I crawled to my grandmother's bed because she slept on the couch, and the couch had a bed to come out. And my grandmother, I pushed my grandmother on the floor like, "Grandma, please just roll over and fall on the floor." And she did, and I got back to the back room. My uncle and told my uncle, "Hey man, they shooting up the house. They shooting up the house." Some uncles, they came out there and did their thing or whatever. But it was crazy. That's the part of the chaotic life I come from. Drugs, gangs, seeing prostitution, seeing death, just seeing so much. But the crazy thing about it is, a lot of the people today don't even know where some of us even come from. But yet, they judge us before they even learn to love us. That's why I named this episode right here, Love Me Before You Judge Me. My mother was so strung out on drugs, man, it was crazy. She got to that point to where she would snap out. Her, a guy she was dealing with, they was very abusive with each other. It was hurtful and it was scary. One day she dropped me off over my auntie's house, and this auntie, she did a lot of drugs too, which is my auntie Carla. And my auntie Carla would raise us. She would feed us, me and my little brother and them. She would feed us and do the best she could do, but at the same time, she was doing her thing. My cousin Sharita and all them, it was a gang of us. One day, it got so crazy, the house got kicked in, man, and they came in there, found money, drugs, whatnot, and they took me. I was the one that got took. I was the one that went through so much. I was the one that, at that moment, never would I would have thought that I would never see my biological family again. For years to come. That's just what happened too. DFS is a children's service called Division of Family Services, and I was placed inside their care. Being placed inside their care, it was crazy. I've seen so much. I've seen other kids that was abused. I can say that now because I know what abuse looked like. I've seen kids that have been through so much traumatization. And Division of Family Service, they placed me in foster care system. They placed me inside the foster care system. And that's when so many things started to happen. So many things started to happen as in for the worst. I was called ugly. That's the word that always bother me because so many people would call me ugly. Oh, he's an ugly little dude. That little dude, he ugly. You see little bumpy face Gerald? You see little ugly ass Gerald? And inside them homes, I was getting called that so much that I kind of like shielded myself. I was always shielding myself, and I always learned that I had to protect myself by any means. Not so much as being in a violent rage or being violent, nah. In such of, I had to make sure that I had a safe place for myself. And my safe place was always the closet. I would always go in the closet. I could sleep in the closet for days without nobody even knowing that I had been in that closet. I tell you one story. I was placed in a foster care system, which is a foster home. I was placed in a foster home where it was like 8 kids. And one night I was laying in the bed and I just felt something touch me. And I rolled over, and lo and behold, it's a lady. She just standing there, and she just looking at me. And she touched me, and I'm looking like, whoa, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? And she would touch me, she would rub on me, she would feel on me, and then it started happening more and more. And then one day she took me out the room, and she took me in this other little room that was inside the home. And that's where she would have me to perform oral sex on her. And man, and at this time, man, I'm talking about I'm like 12 years old, man. I'm a little bitty boy. I don't know what this is, but it happened, and it happened over and over and over again, to the point to where when I wouldn't do it because I was so terrified from it, she would beat me. She would put me down in the basement. The other kids wouldn't even know where I was at sometimes. And I even made that basement my safe place. Sometimes she would put me down there and I would be glad to be down there. Because at least I knew me being down there in that basement, I was safe. But from that moment, I became a runner. And what I mean when I say a runner is I started running away. Every chance I got.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
I trusted nobody. I trusted nobody, man, from that day. From that day on, I trusted nobody. I felt like, this is happening to me. Things is happening to me. Why am I put here in this place? Why is this being done to me? I never looked back. I started praising myself on the streets. I started learning the streets. I learned the ins and outs of the streets. The streets taught me, as well as a lot of these guys in prison, how to survive. A lot of people don't know that, man. A lot of people sitting in the governing office don't know that. Governor Parsley, he don't know that. He don't know where we come from. He don't know where I come from. He don't know about me being beat. He don't know about the struggle. He don't know about none of that. And just because I'm a young black man, that don't mean that I'm supposed to be looked over. I'm not no stupid, ignorant young black child. I was a child that was brought up into something that I didn't ask for that. It ain't even about playing the victim role either. What it's about is, it's about going all the way back and seeing what happened to us. Several of us being in here. Several of us being in here that have been through so much. Being beat, ain't nobody was there to protect me when I was being beat. In fact, when nobody there to protect me when I was running in them streets as a young child, not knowing what I was doing. I was a flunky for people, man. I was a flunky. I can say that as a man today. I'm 45 years old. I can say that as a man today. I was a flunky for them dudes out there. Gang banging. Gang banging. Trying to learn myself, trying to know myself. I ain't know nothing. I was on a third grade reading level. I'm going to school. I'm being such a ass in school. Because I ain't got no guidance. I ain't got nobody there that I can trust. I ain't got nobody there that I can believe that love me and really care about me. So it made me rebellious. It made me act out. Oh, let's not forget. Oh, man, they got me on all this medication. Seeing a counselor. And we talk about trust. We talk about protecting our kids in the system. Man, I was never protected. How you protecting me in foster care when in foster care I'm getting abused in foster care and molested in foster care? How is that protecting me? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, Gerald Johnson. 30640. Born 11/10/77. I said, how's I being protected in the Missouri Division of Family Services? Thanks for protecting me. He said, jump off. Put him here. Put him over there. I'm peeing in the bed. I peed in the bed all the way until I was 13 years old. I'm going to school smelling like pigs, man. And you want me now to believe that the system cared? Nah, the system didn't care. Nah, the system didn't care. They failed me my whole life. They failed me my whole life. I had to make choices. And I made some of the most dramatic choices I ever made in my life. Some of the most dramatic choices I made in my life. I'm going to Aldi's and Country Mall on 31st and Prospect and Aldi's on 29th and Prospect and Ben's Market on 27th and Prospect. I'm shuffling up and down that street right there. Got the people with their groceries to make ends meet for myself. Make $1 or $2 here, make $1 or $2 there. Give me a cheeseburger and some French fries. What I wasn't doing is I wasn't going back to that place where they was abusing me at. Then they would have an old warrant out for me. They call it an old AWOL where I didn't escape from the foster home, so they looking for me. Then they catch me. They put me in Juvenile Justice Center, which is detention center in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. They put me in there. And here I gotta defend, I gotta fight with dudes. I gotta face the fact of now I'm in a place where I'm meeting all these other little dudes they come from the same life I come from. And not even knowing where I was headed. And they come through and see us and sit us down and, Mr. Johnson, we're gonna put you on some Ritalin medication. We're gonna put you on this medication. It's gonna keep you calm because they say I was too hyper. No, it wasn't that I was too hyper. It was that I wanted somebody to listen to me. I wanted somebody to understand me. I wanted somebody to help me. I was a child, man. I was shackled to those streets. You think I'm shackled in prison? I was shackled to those streets. My family didn't even try to come back and come and get me, man. Nobody in my family tried to come and get me. Not one single person. Not one. You know how much resentment and anger and rage that I got built up in me? That I had built up in me. Yeah, it's still a little tweak of resentment there. I'm better today than I was back then, though. I'm better today than I was yesterday. I learned myself. I evaluated myself. The system failed me, man. As a child. And nobody listened. Nobody paid attention. In fact, to be honest with you, nobody even cared. I hope you hear this, Mr. Governor Parson. I hope you hear this, Miss Jean Peters Baker. I hope you hear this, Miss John R. Gray, the judge who gave me life plus 15. I hope y'all hear this, Kathleen B. Mahoney, the prosecutor who prosecuted me on my case for a car wreck. I hope y'all hear this. Y'all need to hear this. Y'all need to hear this, because y'all ain't hearing it. There was a little child inside of me that was screaming, asking for help, and I wasn't getting it. I had people that had to get around me to show me something different. People that believed in me. Y'all didn't believe in us, man. Y'all didn't believe in me. Y'all felt like if you just lock him away and kill him there, then you ain't got to worry about it no more. But when you look at society today, I'm seeing a repeat on TV when I watch the news. That's what I'm seeing, a repeat. I'm seeing them little kids snapping out. I'm seeing them little kids that come from foster homes and was abused. I work in an organization where I help kids, 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds coming through their front door, each front gate. I do them every day. My story is helping them guys change their life around in here. I help them guys read. I help them guys study and learn how to do math. I teach them about decision making and building up the relationship, how to take no more victims. Are y'all paying attention to any of that? In society, is the world paying attention to any of that? Or is it all about a dollar? Is it all about, again, let's just lock them in that cell? I sleep in this tiny cell. I've been sleeping here 23 plus years. I'm standing in my cell right now, looking at a toilet, the 2 bunk beds and the 2 TVs and a bunk-ass alarm clock to beep early in the morning to wake me up. Now I'm up before the birds get to chirping. You know why? I can't sleep. I can sleep when I'm dead. I got an aim and I got a direction now in life.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
You just heard her. I called her. That's old Miss Glenda. You heard her. It's recorded. I want the world to hear my voice. I want the world to hear my voice. My wife has been by my side through this. My wife, I put her through so much blood, sweat, and tears. But she stayed solid by my side through this. So I got a support system. Oh, yeah. I was done wrong in the system. And it ain't a day that I don't get up and reflect back on what brought me to prison. Absolutely. I tell the victim, I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for that. And through these episodes, as I tell you about my life, I'm going to break everything down for you real clear. Facts to back up everything I'm saying. And you tell me if the system failed me. You tell me. Because I'm sitting around guys every day that don't even care no more. They just gave up on themselves. I never give up.
You have 1 minute left.
Yeah, I never give up. That's my little man in the background. Yeah, that's my grandson. Love him to death. I'm not going to fail him and lose him to the system. That's why we're showing him right now. We're showing him a different way. And I'm going to continue to help these guys in here, inside these prison walls and this prison gate, a different way. With that, I love y'all, man. And I'll be back real soon. Thank you.